In a minute, I'm about to bang a bang. It's about that time. That's all I know from Lizzo. Don't she play the flute? Do 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 do. I'm What is good, yo? Are we live? Today is Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. This is Jazz TV. I'm Jazz. Yo, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to keep that little tagline or I'm going to change it up. A little salsa water. So, Lizzo. Apparently her album, Bitch, flopped. And now she's saying pop is broken in 2026. Before I start making any comments, and really we're just reacting to what the Swiftologist, shout out to you, what the Swiftologist and Lizzo is saying. And it says, and nobody wants to admit it, pop is broken. I think the music system, as we have known it for such a long time, has in fact changed. The landscape is different. I'm not going to go so far to say pop is broken. I think that we are now entering in the DIY era, right? And Lizzo, I mean, she's supposed to be like a big mainstream artist, right? And she signed to a major label. And so I think the reason why people are so shocked about the album numbers is because it's like you're a major star, right? And let's get the actual numbers. Let's go. Lizzo album sales. Damn. People's just talking about this one, huh? Says Lizzo's 2026 comeback album, Bitch, sold approximately 2,650 pure copies in its first week and failed to chart on the Billboard 200. And I think that everybody always gets so hung up on the numbers. But I feel like in Lizzo's case, because of maybe the bravado, people might take this one a little bit further and how can I say, talking about what she did or did not do. And I think that because she's saying that pop is broken, in direct correlation to her album sales, instead of just saying like, you know, people are not interested in listening to you, if that's the case, you know, and just taking the L, she's kind of going on a mea culpa as to saying the whole pop system is broken. And here's the reality about the music industry. Like I said, it's DIY. A lot of the labels are dropping the artists and you got to do it yourself, right? Us creators that have been doing it by ourselves, that have taken this route, we already know. You have to get to a certain level before the bigwigs even look at you, if you even want that. My take on it is, if I made it, or when I make it to a certain level, and I put in all that work, why am I now gonna let some huge company or label or management thing just take over all my hard work and slap their name on it like, hey, we did that? You know what I'm saying? And so I think that a lot of these major mainstream artists, for such a long time, they've been very much catered to. And I'm not specifically just talking about Lizzo. I'm just saying that they have a lot of people on their team and from the label that take care of marketing. And so I believe Lizzo might have had to market this herself. And you know, it's not easy, right? It's not easy in this day and age where you have hundreds, not even hundreds, thousands and thousands of options of music to listen to, just like your feed. Everybody's in their own reality, listening to who's texting me in the middle of streaming. Everyone is in their own reality as to what's occurring, what they like, what kind of music. And I heard something regarding like a radio darling. She was a radio, again, all of this sounds like a mea culpa as to giving reasons as to why at such a high level, right? Because before her rollout, I saw her on late night television. She attended the roast of Kevin Hart. I'm not even gonna talk about that. I ain't gonna even talk about that. And I'm talking about her specific set. And still, it's not like she wasn't in front of people. She was in front of people. And so I think that it just might be that people don't want to hear Lizzo. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't even know the words to About Damn Time. That's like, I think, her most famous song or something. I don't know. And then she has the lawsuit with her backup dancers. Before we get into the video, I'm going to say this. Personally, I have never met Lizzo. But I know I have colleagues that have. Okay? And so, without necessarily going too much into that, I'll say that maybe people can see certain things that slip from the persona, and maybe people don't want to tune in. Again, I haven't met Lizzo personally, but I've heard some things. Where's the chat? Where's the chat box? Hold on. What the? Where's the chat? Okay, yo. Now we got the chat up. Okay, so let's get into this. Oh, I told you how many album sales, right? What is this? Hold on, it says Reddit pop heads. What is, because Reddit will, the people on Reddit will let you know what's up. It says, oh God. It says, yikes, this is absolutely atrocious numbers for an established artist like her. Right? And then to combat that, someone says, to be fair, let's look at the facts. She released a mixtape and an expanded deluxe edition of the mixtape, so her still loyal fans and listeners were already well fed, not hungry or waiting. Then to top it off, she named the album Bitch, which is so hard to market and not get shadow banned. And she gave it the ugliest artwork cover of her career. I also think that naming it Bitch is kind of not the best direction, and not because of it being shadow banned, but because there's a lot of people that do not like Lizzo. There's a lot of, that's something I have been seeing a lot. There is a lot of people that don't like Lizzo and have said things like she's kind of mean. I haven't met her, but this is what the talks are. And so it's like, to name an album Bitch, it's like, are you self-proclaiming yourself as that? Or are you taking the power back in that word for yourself? Like, or are you just saying like, bitch? You know what I'm saying? I think those are all, yeah. And Pop is dead. I wouldn't say that at all. Because Billie Eilish, she's doing amazing. Sabrina Carpenter, doing amazing. I think that, how old is Lizzo? Not that matters. But you do know music is always for the young, right? And so it might just be that time for the switch. It could just be that time for the switch. 38 years old. Again, this is not to be ageist or age shame or anything. But music has always been for the youth. And after some period in time, they do a switch and you start seeing the newbies coming. And then, those newbies then become the main ones. And it's just like that time. So, yeah, let's get into this. Let's see what she has to say. Bro, this was a long intro. But I just think that it's, and honestly, I was gonna say, do I feel bad? I feel like, damn, that's a hard L to take. That is a hard L to take because she is so established. She is so mainstream. How many Instagram followers does she have? Because even if she had to market it herself, how many IG followers does she have? How many? Oh, damn. Right? Because even if she had to market it herself, if she has access to millions of individuals, you know, how many IG followers? And I saw Lizzo on a few streams earlier in the year. I didn't think they helped. How many? Like the stigma that people feel about Lizzo. Does Lizzo have? Damn! 11.3 million. Hold on. Bro, she has. What the? Huh. Lizzo has 11.3 million. Other platforms. Ah, damn. This actually makes it worse, right? 11.3 million. Other platforms. She has 26.4 million TikTok followers and 5.8 million YouTube subscribers. It says, despite a decrease in followers following controversy in 2023, yeah, which is still ongoing, that lawsuit is still going. Her engagement remains high with an average of roughly 300,000 likes per post. Are they bots? Because where the was those people at? Where was your people at, bro, when you put this out? Honestly, her fans, bro, y'all should have ran that up for her. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Damn, bro. Damn, bro.
Lizzo, are you in the Kia Asylum?
I feel like I can't be in the Kaya Asylum. I have Grammys in world record music. I have number ones. I have a diamond.
This is it. This is the reason. I can't. Get yourself a drink. Okay? Get yourself a spliff if you need one. Buckle the fuck up. This is why. Listen, chat, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is just for life. In life, we're going to take L's. Okay? Whether we plan for them, whether we expect them, whether we can even handle them. We are going to take L's in the public or outside of the public. That's just a part of life. We could take L's with grace, or we can make excuses. Remember that.
Diamond record. I am a successful artist.
Lizzo,
Swiftologist.
welcome to Protopop. I am so excited to have you here. Before we get any into the bigger picture career stuff, I know that you've been living with this record for a while, but it just came out.
Damn. And she paid for a billboard in New York City? Well, here's the thing. Does Lizzo have a big fan base in New York City? Because if she don't, putting a billboard in New York City like that, can I be real with y'all? Chat, can I be real with y'all? If I'm driving, right? I just finished work. I'm on my way back, right? And I'm waiting at the light. And I see that big ass sign that says Lizzo, bitch, crossed out June 5th. First of all, I'm going to laugh because I'm like, did somebody hack into the system and put up a thing that says Lizzo's a bitch? I'm like, yo, people are wild. That's what I'm going to think. Then I'm going to say June 5th. I'm like, oh, she doing something. And I'm going to drive off because it's not really my demographic. I've never really been tapped in regarding that particular music. And it's no shade. That's just me. I'm not that target. Does she have a big fan base in New York City? I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe that ad could have been placed somewhere else that maybe could have gotten to her demographic. You know what I mean? All right.
How does it feel sitting here having it out in the world? How have you been metabolizing it?
Oh my gosh. I've been saying this a lot that it feels like pushing out a baby, but talking to you, I think I can get a little even more technical. Like, it feels like a science experiment.
Yeah.
Like, for me, like,
I think I think my faces, chat, narrow into my expressions. That will speak for the thoughts that I may or should not say out loud. This is going to be interesting.
releasing pop and the kind of pop that I make in 2026.
Also, I thought Lizzo was a rapper or like a hybrid or something.
Is like, what's gonna happen? It's like pouring like the peroxide or whatever inside the volcano and seeing if it erupts. And if it doesn't erupt, just make another volcano. So for me, I was very curious to see how it would land when it landed, because this album was supposed to come out last year, you know, and it could.
Would it have made a difference? Maybe. Honestly, maybe it could have made a difference. Like before she started going on like streams with people, you know, because streaming is live, right? So whatever your personality is gonna shine unless you're like a super actor and you're always on it, right? Your mask, if one is wearing one, we're not necessarily talking about Lizzo, right? Just generally, if you're wearing a mask and you're not authentic, you know, who you are could slip through the cracks. You know, and that could be great or it could be bad.
Would have came out the year before last year, but I also think with pop and with music, timing is everything. So right now I'm just like letting it live. Reminder,
Sorry, y'all can hear me.
I've never been number one out the gate, girl. I'm a grower.
The slow burn.
I am a slow burn. About damn time took 14 weeks.
Okay.
And it's the greatest song ever made, and we should have that conversation.
Hello.
Did he just say what I thought he just said? Or them? Or they? Did that individual just say what I thought they just said? My boy just passed out a glazed donut. Extra glaze.
Oh, it's record of the year. It's number one girl. It was, honestly, it was song of the summer, but we gonna give it to Harry as it was. Harry can have it, but it's my song of the summer. Like, but it took 14 weeks, you know? So I also know that I need to step back and just like enjoy. Like, I had an epiphany. I woke up one morning and I was like, you know, like Leah Katab on Love Island. I was like, and what? You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna enjoy myself.
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna let it rock. I mean, when your inspiration is like greater than your fear of letting something, I don't know, fail or flop, then you're in a powerful place, because I think the algorithm, as we've talked about, rewards more and more and more.
Yeah.
And when you're just generating more and you're in a creative space, why not just put it out?
Wow.
Chat. I don't think this is gonna help her. At all. At all.
Afraid of failure anymore because I've already won. And I think that's something that
That is true. No, I'm gonna give her that. Remember, we are all about, you know, going after your dreams and understanding that it's only a failure when you stop, right? Even though this is an L is an L. You're gonna take a loss, right? But if you say Lizzo never makes another album again, then you could say maybe that's a failure, because it's like she gave up. I don't think she's gonna do that at all. You know what I mean? I just think that it's a shock, as she's saying, because she straight out the gate, or they, cut it straight out the gate, talking about all the accolades. I'm this, I'm that, I'm worldly, I'm da, just to let everybody know, hey, that happened currently, but remember all of this. Remember, I'm up here. I know that currently it's showing I'm here, but remember, I'm really up here.
The general public may not believe or understand about me.
See, bro, then I ain't watched these. Y'all know I don't watch these beforehand.
And also the game, because I think once they hold people to this standard, like you just have to keep doing it like you did it, and then greater. And if you don't break the Beatles record, then you are not a real pop artist. And it's like,
Bro, this is tough. This is gonna be hard. How long is this? This is gonna be tough.
honey, it's okay. Like,
So here's the thing, right? I don't know if it's in the family or what. I'm very good on energy, right? Like, I can read people's energy, okay? So people, what they present in front of me, it's like, I don't know. I'm tapped in. I just am, everything she's saying, it's like, I know what you're actually, I feel like I can see right through things, and it's exhausting. The Beatles? Why bring the Beatles into this conversation? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know, like, is she at the level of that? I don't know. I don't listen to Lizzo. I couldn't even tell you the rest of the words to About Damn Time. Except in a minute, I'm a mama, summer. It's about, you know what I'm saying? That's it. I don't even know the words.
I'm not going to break anybody's record. I might break my own record, because that's the only person that I'm...
See, this I like. See, I'm not a hater. That's good. Only be in competition with yourself. Yes. Try to be better than you were yesterday. I agree with that. I agree with you, Lizzo.
Competing with. You know what I mean? But that's my lane, that's my story. And I'm very, very good with it.
And you want to stay where you are doing the things that you love to do for your family.
Okay.
And the people that want to listen to you.
That's what it's all about. I feel like pop used to be about general public. Pop used to be about the masses and being this like ubiquitous, like...
Okay, so here's the thing, right? And remember I told you in the beginning that I think that the music industry, I'm not going to say that it's broken. I'm going to say it's a new system. Before they had payola, right? And when it was only radio, you only had one option. So whoever the radio played is what everybody heard. That doesn't mean that the people on the radio are the best. That's not what that means. That just means that those are the people that are being pushed. That's how it always was for so long. And then streaming came into it. And now we're in this new world where, bro, I don't even listen to the radio. Or I have Apple Music. I listen to the music that I want, and I don't listen to the music that I don't want, right? And it's probably the same thing with you. And that's the landscape that we're in, right? I don't want to be, and that's the thing. I remember the radio when that was our only option, and you would hear songs that you didn't like, or me, right? Let's just talk about me. I remember back in the day when I would listen to the radio and I would hear songs constantly playing that I don't like. But what happens? Psychology, when you repetitively play something, it gets stuck in your head. If the beats are on a par with, the body and things like that, it gets stuck in your head. And eventually, before you know it, because you've heard the song so long, you yourself are singing it. Whether you liked it in the beginning or you didn't, it was forced upon us. Now we have choice. And I love that we have choice. And this is no offense to Lizzo, but I don't want to hear Lizzo every moment of every second. Or if I'm playing a radio and it's playing the same song, if it's a good song and I like it, okay. But The radio back in the day would play the same like 3 times in the day, and it's like, bro, how many times are you gonna play this song? Can we hear something different? This isn't the only song.
Like star that the world all knew.
The main pop girl.
Yes, and like it was all, like you were the only one in the lane, and if another one came up, it was like a versus, but there was no other pop star. Like you were the one, and I think now it's just like.
So you want that? What is that? What do you guys think? Leave some comments. What do you think? I think that notion she just gave is like, I want to be the only one. You know, if somebody else is here, oh God, now I have to. It's like, oh, it could only be me. It could only be me at one time. But what? That doesn't. This is gonna be tough. Oh, we're only 3 minutes in. Oh my God.
Community. Like, who am I talking to? I'm talking to the lesbians. I'm talking to the Lizzies. I'm talking to my people. And stay.
Did she say the lesbians? Is that what she calls her fan base? Oh, okay. I had no idea.
That way. And I always talk about Taylor she's been doing that for such a long time. And I just think that it was just like so genius, and it was so smart to have that foresight. I don't even know if she had the foresight to do that. I think she just built it organically, and now she has her own like community around her that back her up. And I just think that's what everyone needs to be doing.
It is. Because it's really difficult to like measure who is being successful, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on this series is because I really want to like discover and talk about artists whose careers don't fit in the traditional pop star trajectory that you've mentioned before. And the old model was like so simple, like you got signed, you get bigger every era, every album outperforms the last one, and you never let people see you struggle. But I think you're showing us right now, like in such an interesting way, that that's just not how modern pop works anymore
at all. And I think I'm getting.
I mean, in rap, all the time, people are talking about, you know, album sales and all that. I mean, I'm not one to be like, we always need to be talking about that. Like, is the music good? You rocking with it? Cool. If you don't, okay, cool. You know, I'm not sure that is necessarily the most important. But again, you know, those people are talking about that for a reason, you know. Those things correlate, I think, to awards and honestly, I don't even know too much like that.
Might beat up a little bit on the internet for it, but I'll take that risk. When I came into this game as a big girl in a leotard singing about how I love myself, I knew I was going to get scrutiny. I knew I was going to get backlash.
Arguably, I might say people, based off what I've seen on the internet, people might have liked you better when you first came in than right now. Based off what I'm seeing on the timeline and I'm reading in these comments, you have people out here that are saying they enjoyed Lizzo more when she was like that in the beginning.
But I was like, I'm just going to continue to be myself. And right now, I signed up for this as well. Like, I'm just going to keep being honest about it. Because in the long run, somebody will look back and be like, thank you. And I've gotten that a lot.
I think that you've had an impact that is more profound than you realize. Like, I think you know for sure. But as we talked about a little bit before, like the beauty of a pop song is that a message can travel so far. And
it's the lawsuit. We got to see what the outcome of that lawsuit, what that lawsuit is. No cap. That'll be, I think that could really be a turner for Lizzo. If that turns out to be false, you know, that could give her some leeway. If it goes negatively for her, I don't know, girl.
And you bake very specific messages into the songs that you make.
I do bake.
You be baking things.
I do that under I bake, honey. And it's intentional. Whether, you know, it's so crazy. I made a vow a long time ago to only make positive music. And this is when I was working at Paisley Park a lot with Prince. And I remember, like,
should we just skip to the album? Do we really want to hear everything? We're already 30 minutes in this bitch. Why is she named that? Yeah, we're gonna skip around. We're gonna skip around, okay? It's cool. That's awesome. You worked with Prince. Let's move on.
perfect.
Just perfect.
I think it encapsulates so many different parts of what the album is because it's coming off of a polarizing and a controversial time. And I think that word is just so often used against women in a specific way. And you have definitely been the recipient of a very misogynistic use of the word, I think.
Yes.
To be powerful, to be exerting your power, too confident, too creative, too in control. All of those things are seen as being did you...
I mean, I will say that it's definitely more difficult for women to be assertive, but I also understand that there's certain nuances where it's not always like that. I think how one is personality wise can really change the perspective, because there's many women lady bosses doing what they do and they command respect and nobody looks at them like a bitch. So I wouldn't say that that's always the case, but yes, sometimes 100% that can happen.
Do you have any hesitations about calling it TCH, like from a marketing perspective, I guess? Because I imagine it's a little bit more difficult to market an expletive as the title of an album.
It's been very...
So you saw that? So, okay. So if some of y'all don't know, I have a background in film and television. I studied film and media. I have a degree in radio and television production, and journalism, things like that. So that was like a lead-in question, right? Almost to give another potential reason as to why the album sales were lower. Right. And even working in documentary, you ask questions. You literally, it depends. Sometimes they might tell them to come on the podcast or come here and not give them any beforehand questions or any kind of idea of what's going to be spoken about. Sometimes. But a lot of times they will give them the entire question. Let them know, like, is there any topics you don't want us to speak on? Is there sensitive? Maybe you want us to speak more of? That was 100% a lead-in, in my opinion, to give another example as to why the sales were what they were. Let's see what they say. Maybe I'm wrong. Who am I, right?
To market it, but I didn't have any hesitation. I feel like from my team, like label and management was coming to me and being like, you're not going to be able to be on certain DSPs, and you're not going to be able to be in certain stores, and certain radio stations won't be able to say the name of it.
Well, that's true. That is true, because radio, with the FCC, you are not allowed to say certain things. So that is true with regulations and things like that. But I wonder, let me look that up real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so it says, in general, yes, you can say bitch on the radio, but it is heavily restricted. It says, which as I said, the FCC stands for the Federal Communications Commission. That is like the governing board for like telecommunications, right? TV and radio, and, certain things fly and certain things cannot. That's why on TV, they're very strict about what's seen, especially when things are live. If something goes rogue or somebody curses or something goes crazy, they might just cut it, right? Because of that FCC regulation. They're going to get a huge fine. So it says the FCC does not legally classify it as obscene, but does heavily restrict it based on the time of day. Oh, it says the rule breaks down as follows. Safe harbor hours, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Stations are allowed to broadcast it. Daytime restrictions, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. The FCC enforces strict rules against indecent or profane material during these hours. While the word is not automatically an FCC violation, stations usually self-censor or bleep it out to avoid complaints. Yes. So, even so, they could bleep it out too. I don't know. See, y'all learn stuff. We react, right? I teach you a few things. We fact check a few shit. Like, comment, subscribe.
like you should consider changing it. And honestly, I'm such a little that I was like, oh, that makes me want to name it more.
I love that. Yes.
Because I don't want to have any regrets. Well, I'm building a legacy. I'm not trying to like get rich quick or get popping quick or get what number one quick. I want to look back at this time and be like, oh my gosh, after special, when she dropped, it was a risk, but look what it did for her as an artist, as a creative human being. Like this.
But I don't know. I feel like it has nothing to do with the album title. I just are that many people going to listen to Lizzo? It's been what, like 4 years, I believe, since her last album? I don't know. I don't know. You guys tell me.
Scratched an itch for me as a creative more than me someone trying to market an album or like I just need to do good this time. It's like no, I want to look back and be like I was brave. You know, I took a risk.
You definitely were.
For
and
sure.
you talked about how there was a whole album scrapped before this one came out, and I love Still Bad when it came out. But I was wondering, was that a moment where, because you know the label comes in your ear and tells you all of these things, I think it's kind of natural. You're an artist. You want to succeed. You want people to hear your music. So if someone's
Sure.
coming to you and saying people aren't going to hear it if you make this decision, it takes a lot of gut.
You think, what do y'all think? You think those were conversations? Do you really think those were conversations like, because you named it this, no one, it's going to be really hard for people to hear it and want to listen to it? Do y'all think that's the reason why? I don't, but, you know.
Guts to say I'm going to stick to what my creative spirit wants me to do. Have there been times in the past where you have like acquiesced to these things or said, you know what, okay, maybe I'll take the note, and you've regretted it later?
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI.
And I'm not going to listen to it either, just because of personal, like I said. I've never met her, but I know people that have.
Yes, I feel like, well, not from a creative standpoint. I've always picked a different single than what the label picked. Every single time. Like, About Damn Time wasn't the single in my eyes. I thought it was Everybody's Gay.
And it should be too.
I was like, this is like generational. Like, it's like Thriller. But they were like, no, it's.
Y'all heard that? What do you got? I could have a lot to say, you know. I could, and you never know. But usually I'm pretty right. I'm pretty right about people. She mentioned the Beatles. She mentioned Thriller. She did like okay. We'll see.
It's About Damn Time. And I was like, well, I mean, I write all my music, so I love all my babies. So sure, About Damn Time took the longest to write. It was a pain in the.
You went through so many iterations of it, right?
Oh my God, so many choruses until I finally the okay, all right was like out of like
It's a good
just
song.
fatigue.
It's literally okay.
I was like,
all right.
yo, okay, all right.
Good beat.
And then everyone was like, oh, and I was like, are y'all with me?
Like the melody.
But it's perfect.
Yeah.
Are there other versions of it that you like better, or do you like the recorded one the most?
I think I like the recorded one the most, but it's funny because Blake Slacken, who wrote it with us.
Okay, are we getting to body positive? No. Here it is. We came for the album, right? And the flop. You know, that's what it says in here. The other stuff.
Which brings me to something that I actually wanted to talk to you about, because I think this is so interesting, and artists are starting to pick up on this language. So I've talked about the Kia Asylum a couple of times. The Kia Asylum is, and the thing is, my recent revelation about it has been that it's a very misogynistic term, because there are no men in the Kia Asylum.
Yes.
And let me tell you, there are plenty of men that are in the Kia Asylum currently, or exist permanently in the.
They say misogynistic twice. What does that have to do with the music? And not that many people listen to it. Like, she didn't make that many. What does that have to do with anything?
Kia Asylum, and they don't get this kind of like obsessive focus on them.
So are they saying if you don't listen to Lizzo, one could be misogynistic? Why mention misogynistic twice?
Flopping that women get. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about?
No, they say men flop too. They say anybody who flops, flops. I don't think this is just a woman thing or a misogynistic thing. I think that if... I'm confused. Do I need to rewind it?
About seeing when people describe what you're doing as like flopping or being in the Kia Asylum, does it feel like restrictive to you? How does it resonate with you?
I have a lot of thoughts about it because, first of all, I was so shocked when people kept saying Kia because it's about Kaya,
right?
The rapper, My Neck, My Back, and I think
Legend.
that helped. We still talk about it. Her record.
Still talk about
her record. She got records. That's My Neck, My Back is a hit.
Yeah.
And I think even that is backhanded in itself to name it after this extremely phenomenal. I just put my own foot in my mouth. But this extremely talented, incredible, like pillar in the black community and in black rap music. And then it's this weapon that targets only women. And
wait, I gotta rewind it because I'm confused where the started is.
That are in the Kia Asylum currently, or exist permanently in the Kia Asylum.
What is the Kia? What is that?
Which brings me to something that I actually wanted to talk to you about because I think this is so interesting and artists are starting to pick up on this language. So I've talked about the Kia Asylum a couple of times. The Kia Asylum is, and the thing is, my recent revelation about it has been that it's a very misogynistic term because there are no men in the Kia Asylum.
What is that? What is that? Oh. Okay. It says the Kia Asylum is a viral internet meme and slang term originating from music-focused communities on X, which is Twitter, formerly Twitter, and TikTok. It's a metaphorical purgatory or prison for pop stars and musicians who had one or two hit songs but have struggled to maintain mainstream cultural relevance or become household names. What? I swear, you learn new things all the time. Okay.
And let me tell you, there are plenty of men that are in the Kia Asylum currently, or exist permanently in the Kia Asylum, and they don't get this kind of like obsessive focus on them flopping. That women.
Oh, I don't agree. I feel like very much so. Oh, maybe not in the pop world, but at least in hip hop, they talk about rappers and people who don't do good album sales all the time. But maybe this is just pop centric. And they don't do that about, like men in pop. Maybe. I don't know.
Men get. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about seeing when people describe what you're doing as like flopping or being in the Kia Asylum? Does it feel like restrictive to you? How does it resonate with you?
I have a lot of thoughts about it because, first of all,
I just want to say real quick before you give your thought. I think that any artist that is at Lizzo's level that only sold the amount of copies that she sold after, like I said, having been in multiple places, like the roast of Kevin Hart, she did like some late night stuff. She did stuff, and she, like I said, we went over all the followers. She's not, one would consider her A-list, right? She's up there. So I think any individual, male or female, that this occurred to would be talked about, in my opinion. That's what I believe. I don't think that this is just specifically a woman thing. I think that any artist at this level that is so visible as Lizzo that performed like this would be spoke about. That's my opinion.
I was so shocked when people kept saying Kia because it's about Kaya,
right?
the rapper, My Neck, My Back, and I think
Legend.
that hell, we still talk about her. Her
We
record,
still talk about
her
her.
record. She got records. That My Neck, My Back is a hit.
Yeah.
And I think even that is backhanded in itself to name it after this extremely phenomenal. I just put my own foot in my.
I could agree with her. You know, that's messed up to be naming anything like that with somebody's name. That's kind of messed up. But
Yes.
But this extremely talented, incredible, like pillar in the black community and in black rap music, and then it's this weapon that targets only women and a lot of black women. Let's be real. So I think it's a little strange, but one thing about it, I think it's just funny for people, and I think it should remain funny. It should remain a meme because now it's evolved to where it's this thing where it's like even the most successful, somebody could be the most successful artist last year, and now they're back in the Kaya Asylum.
Today you're in it. You never know when you're gonna escape
So
it.
I'm just like,
yes, I think that I mean I don't know about the Kaya Asylum. I think like I just stated, any major artist, right? She's had like an Amazon. She's big, not like you know what I'm saying. It's like she's big time. She's A-list. I think any A-list artist that performed at the level that has occurred would be spoken about. I think maybe she feels that this is just specifically regarding her. That, you know what I mean? I think any artist that this happened to would be spoken about, you know? It's unfortunate. This is it's going to be a hard L to take.
like, what is it really? I think it's nebulous. And I think it's nebulous, and I do think it now it's just like a na 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 na. I think it's a tool to bully artists and have power over them. It probably used to mean something, but now I think it's nonsense. I feel like I can't be in the Kaya Asylum. I have Grammys and world record music.
That's what that clip came from. Okay, so maybe she's trying to say that. Wait, what was it? Oh my God. Kaya Asylum, a viral internet meme and slang term originating from music-focused communities. It's a purgatory or prison for pop stars and musicians who had one or two hit songs but have struggled to maintain mainstream cultural relevance or become household names. Okay, so I can say that I think Lizzo is a household name. I'm pretty sure most people know Lizzo. You may not know her music. I'm going to raise my hand. I definitely don't know her music. But of course, I've heard of Lizzo before. So if that's the criteria, I can agree with Lizzo in saying that she don't belong inside of that purgatory that we just found out about. I can agree on that because she's definitely maintained cultural relevance and became a household name. You know, she just took a massive L and was surprised about it like the rest of us. I think that's the moral of the story. Regardless of all the other controversy, I just think she and everybody else is like, wow. Because it's like, it's Lizzo, right? And she's saying that too. It's like, I'm Lizzo. But the people control everything.
It's ridiculous when you say
I have a diamond record. I am a successful
Truth
artist.
Hurts went diamond today. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Truth Hurts is diamond.
So Kaya Asylum where?
Oh, that sounds familiar. I might know that song.
I can't be. I think there should be criteria.
That having a Grammy is for sure. You
Yes.
cannot be in the asylum.
You
You're
just
not
can't
there
be in the
anymore.
asylum.
No, a diamond, a platinum record.
Grammys,
Hello?
diamond records, platinum records, number ones in the Guinness World Book of Record. I can't be in there. I'm
You right.
impervious to it.
You're right. I don't think that she deserves to be in that asylum. She definitely, like I said, she's a household name for sure. She just took a L. Shit
Save
happens.
that for
I've taken many L's. And I'm sure as life goes on, I will take many more. You just got to keep on going through it, Chad.
You can climb your way out at any time.
You sure can.
You can.
And you know what, baby? You know what? I'm climbing my way out. How about that? If I'm in the Kaya asylum, I'm climbing my way out.
Okay, Lizzo, maybe you can change my mind. Maybe you can change my mind about certain things. Wait, but this is a podcast, though. This is a podcast, though. You already know. Everybody's on their best behavior. It's what happens behind the scenes. Now that is what tells you who people are.
Period.
Then you have people that are exactly who they are.
I'm like, do you know who my father is?
Now I'm Jazz.
100%
I get a slap on the wrist.
No matter where.
You get a slap on the wrist, and then you get free to go back on your non-asylum days.
Yes.
But how do you feel in June 2026? Like, how do you feel? How do you describe where you are in your career? Like a real answer, not like a PR line.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the weeds a little bit. I had so much fun last year when I dropped My Face Hurts From Smiling. I think that was the most fun I've had as a pop artist in the last since Special.
Wow.
That was the most fun I've had. And
I don't know any
even
of these
writing
songs.
was really emotionally exhausting for me because I wrote over 120, 150 songs, and
God.
I've been writing since September 2023 for this album that just came out in 2026, and I had to span every emotion and come back to me again, and that's work. That's emotional labor. My Face Hurts From Smiling I did in a week, and I was like, oh, I'm popping my shit. This is so fun. And I want to get back there.
What else
I
is
think
going
right
on?
now,
I don't want to
dropping
watch the whole
album,
thing.
I took
I'll be honest.
to heart really, really heavily.
Radio
not because
campaigns?
I wanted to be
We might have to skip around.
back
We might have to
again,
skip around.
but because I just felt like
I mean,
the music was so good, and I just knew that the stories would connect with people if they chose to discover them. And I still feel that way. I still feel like people, when they consume and discover the music, they'll feel an emotional connection and be like, oh, actually, whoa, she stole my man. I hate this forever. Like, what a record. Like,
Whose hair is that?
this?
Ah,
Like,
that song
she
killed me.
She was like, whose hair is this? Whose hair it is? Like, give me an opportunity to sing that song live, and you will fall in love with it. And that's how.
So I feel like as much as Lizzo is saying she don't care, she's also pleading her case to let y'all know, like, hey, if I sang one of the hundreds of songs that I write, you are gonna feel it. You know? Instead of standing 10 toes down, if you don't give it, then I feel like you wouldn't be saying that. Just generally for anybody. Y'all let me know what you think.
How I feel about all of the music. I can't wait for people to discover it. I'm not gonna rush you. There's no rush for you to fall in love with this music, honey. I've never been that raw. So I think right now,
Isn't it funny? I just said that, and then that was what came next. That's interesting.
This is the
I didn't watch
documentary.
this.
Hurt my own feelings, and I was really stressed and I was really sad for a few days because I just was like, wait a minute, this is like some of my best stuff. Like, I want people to find it, and I had to come to terms with the fact that not only is the music industry different in the last 3 years, and we need to talk about that.
Nah, I'm gonna say it's been. I'm not gonna lie. It's been going this way since SoundCloud rappers, and it's been on this wavelength. I just think that the more successful the artists that started getting it through the mud through streaming and digital have become, and the labels are seeing that they did all the work. They built their own fan base. We didn't spend $1. Now we're going to come in here, give them a little check, right? To them, it's little. It's pennies. To the artist, the starving artist, it's like, what? You're giving me this money? I'm sold. Then they don't read the contract, and it's like, yeah, you're sold. You're sold for the next 5 years. You know? And so it's been on that pathway. I think that because they've generated so much money and they're seeing success, and now with AI, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, why are we spending all this extra money to put your music out, to promote this, to promote that? XYZ over there in Jacksonville, Florida, they doing it. And they don't have half the resources. You understand? So it's been going like that. I just think now the bigger artists are finally seeing that, hey, yo, this is where it's at.
We need to talk about the radio aspect that I got my chewed out for, but it's happening and it's true. But also my relationship and my connection musically with the world is different. And I think I had to kind of mourn that. And now I was like, shake it off. Shut
Yeah,
up.
you have to.
Shake it off.
You have to shake it off.
and move forward. And that's why I'm in the studio today, because I'm like, okay, well, what are you gonna do?
Keep going.
You have to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, you described it earlier as surfing, and it must be really jarring to go from record of the year, this like insane arena tour, to all of a sudden. Like,
She seemed cool back then. Back then, like, she seemed alright. Like, when I, like, that, okay, let me, not trying to do you like that, girl. Back then, like, the energy, because I'm all about energy, okay? Don't, whatever you say, I'm taking it, right? For face value, right? But at the same time, it's like energy. Remember, chat, energy always speaks louder than words, okay? Because it's so easy to say a lot, but what are they showing you with their actions? You start paying attention to that, you start seeing a whole other side of people. And the energy in those beginning stages, like, it felt all right. You know, like, we want you to win. I'm gonna be honest. The energy I get is not the same. It's not the same. It is not the same. It's swinging the opposite direction.
For people to give you a minute.
And maybe the public
so
sees
I
it
wanted
too.
to ask, the label situation, like the traditional structure that is supporting artists is failing, I think, or it's changing in a way.
You see it? Listen, I'm tapped in. I'm not one of these people who's just talking. I did not watch this beforehand. Okay, I'm telling you, yo. I'm tapped in.
That is not useful to every artist. So from the outside, I think for everybody, it looks like you went from an artist that you were an artist that a label would move heaven and earth for, right? Like they would give you all these campaigns, these huge TV looks, like as much as you want, basically for whatever you want to do. And now we're hearing you on socials being like, my label isn't promoting my album. When did you kind of feel this?
That's not even a personal thing. That's a business thing. Right? Because understand something. When the label, the production company, the producers, whatever they're fronting, right, they want to recoup. So the budget for the movie is $200 million. If they only made $200 million, bro, they just got the money that they spent. They didn't make money off of that, right? They want to make 10x that. That's why these Hollywood producers and executives, if they have a budget for a film that was $50 million, and I know that sounds like a lot, but for a movie, it's not, right? It's decent, but it can go extremely higher, right? You have a budget for a movie that's $50 million, and the gross of that is $300 million. Now that was a win. They only spent $50 million. Now, what does this have to do with the music industry? It goes back to what I told y'all earlier about XYZ pop artist or rapper in Jacksonville, Florida, or Memphis, Tennessee, wherever, that are doing it with less money. They have fan bases. They going out to shows. They got merch lines. They got everything because they know that the labels won't even look at them unless they build that on their own. This is just how it's been going. So it's like, why are we going to continue to spend XYZ boatloads of money and then hoping and praying we see a return in people listening to the music because it's still a gamble. If the label and her budget, I don't know, let's not her, say anybody. If their budget for their album was $400,000, right? That means they're give 400,000, right? They need to make that money back. It's a gamble because what if nobody listens? They just lost it. They don't want to do it now. They don't have to do it now. That's why they're telling them, hey, yo, times are different. The budget, finito.
Shift from you're a priority to you're on your own, or you need to prove to us that you deserve this.
Well,
Find your rhythm.
I wouldn't say, well, no, I will say that, right? Like Drake, what he just did, I don't think there's any question in the minds of the people at UMG. That man is an asset. Right? And I don't think he was proving anything. I think he gonna do what he's gonna do. But he definitely let people know, hey. And people talking about it's bots. It's definitely not bots. Everywhere I've been going so far, there are so many people listening to that album, especially when it came out. I was like, wow. And certain songs definitely surprised me too. Like, nah, man. He proved that. Asset.
Them at Quintet, an iconic. I'll say this about my label currently. I do believe I'm a priority in the building, but I think what they're able to do is significantly, and when I say significantly, I mean significantly less than what they were able to do even 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago for an artist. For an artist of my size, for a smaller artist, especially the smaller new artists.
How do you break through?
You have to do it all on your own. I was having a conversation the other day with my label, and we were talking about the album.
Okay, so she knows. So she knows what it is. Hey, you know what it is.
And we were talking about how much.
But hey, this is proving that I know what it is too. Tapped in. Comment, like, subscribe.
How many eyes are on me? How many people are talking about my album? How many streams I get on social media and views, I mean, of like
good press too.
Great press. And it doesn't convert to streams overwhelmingly. And I was like, where's the disconnect? And they were like, well, that's in the hands of the people.
Didn't I tell you guys that? Bro, I'm tapped in. I'm telling you. Which means that, unfortunately, it's a hard L to take. But the people, I don't know, bro. They weren't interested, I guess. And that's, I'm not going to lie, that's unfortunate. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Especially after everything she's done. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or the accolades she mentioned. Nobody wants to hear that. That is a huge blow to the ego. Huge blow to the ego. You know, but what can you do but just grow from it and continue on? That's it. Do what you do.
And I remember I was like, whoa. I was like, y'all, it's 2026. In 1996, 2006, even 2016.
I was just about to say.
They would have never said that. They would have been like, oh no, we got you.
We'll try this. We'll do that.
Yeah, but because it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Why spend so much money for, and I'll tell you something, especially me just being a creative, you know, when you want something, right? And you don't care. You're not thinking as an artist, oh, how much is that going to cost? What's the budget, right? Unless you have both mindsets. If you're just an artist and you don't have any suit in you, suit meaning like business acumen, if you don't have any of that in you, you're just straight artist, you're just thinking about, you know, your vision and, oh, I see us in a dark forest and just an array of like African animals and right? You're just going on and on, the artist. And then the suit is looking, which is the producer's looking like, bro, our budget is $20,000, nigga. You want a lion? You want how many trees? No, you got to cut the vision down. And that is what happens. It's a back and forth, right? With artists, especially, you know, the greats, right? Nowadays, and that costs money, and it's still a gamble. They don't know if they're going to get a return. They will not know because it's in the hands of the people. Whereas you get somebody who already does it, gets their people, and you're not spending as much money. That way, if people don't listen to it, you didn't spend that much. They didn't spend that much. It's business. It's not even personal. It's not, I don't think it's a personal thing. I think it's a business situation. I'm dropping gems in here, y'all.
Now, literally, everything is in the hands of the people. So I think I was just like really emotional and really upset because I had a meeting a month prior where I had said all these ideas. Me and my creative director, we had all these cool ideas.
You see? Are you kidding me, bro? This is live. This is live. Are you kidding me, bro? I literally just spoke about this with the artist. She said her creative director. We had all these crazy ideas. Then, like, comment, subscribe. Tap the fucking.
Ideas for like billboards and like hotlines and like.
All cost money. All cost money. All cost money. So much money. And not a guarantee they will make the money back. Do you know how much gas is? I mean, luckily the prices are starting to drop, but it's a gamble. It's not for sure.
Interactive things, and a month later, I was talking to my creative director, and he was like, "Yeah, why haven't they implemented any?" And I was like, "Yeah, why haven't they?" And I was like, "What's going on? My album's coming out soon," and I freaked out, and I went on the internet, you know, because no one answered the phone.
Oops. Well, if no one's answering the phone, what?
Let me take a sip of water. All this talking. Tapped in.
What are you supposed to do?
Classic Lizzo.
Bro, I was outside and allergies.
On the internet. But I did.
As you can see.
Like after coming back and like actually breathing and thinking about it, it's not about the label just being like, Lizzo, you're not a priority. It was just like, Lizzo, this is what we're able to do, and it's not as much as we used to be able to do.
The situation has just changed.
I'm not the only person experiencing it. I'm just the only one talking about it.
And that's so important because I don't understand why it has to be this big secret that the labels are limited in what they're able to do, that the landscape is shifting.
I don't think they're limited. See, that's the thing. I don't think that they're limited. These labels are rich. They have money. They talking about offering Drake billions. You think... Let me see something before I give the rest of this thought. They're talking about offering him billions. You trying to... The labels are limited? That's something that I would say, though we're limited in what we can do. Just to like not have them nagging at me about, oh, why can't we do this? And instead of, you know what I'm saying? I might just say that to be cordial or whatever. But it's like, they want to make money, bro. They want to make more and more money, and they don't want to spend it on a gamble. Let me see. What record label is Lizzo on? Signed to. Nice Life Recording Company and Atlantic Records. Atlantic Records. Who's on Atlantic? That'll tell me. I feel like if I know who's on Atlantic, what artists are on Atlantic, it will tell me about how much money they make. I remember when I took a class, I was in honors film studies. Bruno, oh, these motherfuckers got money. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hey, Boogie, we rock with them. Shout out to them. Charlie Puth, Roddy Ricch, Charlie XCX, Jack, well, that could be a whole nother video. I ain't jacking that one. Uzi Vert, Coldplay, Ed Sheeran, Cardi B, Bruno Mars. No, I don't think that. Nah, yeah, come on. You heard what she said. They're limited. They're not limited. Look at all, with these stars, and all the money that they're bringing in. Missy Elliott, hell no, they got money. They got money. They just don't want to spend it. It's not that they're limited. They just don't want to. On a gamble. It's not guaranteed that people are going to listen to the music and they're going to generate a revenue. Whereas, right, social media, when you do, because we do it all the time. Like, you see it. Things can pick up extremely quickly for free. You just do a video, you post, and you see it. People are doing it in real time. So it's like they want you to do it because there are artists that are nowhere near as big as you that are doing it on their own and getting numbers and all that stuff. So I think that's why.
And if we don't talk about it, then I think artists don't get a chance to really have their music go further than a one shot.
Yeah.
And the beauty of social media is that you can have so many different shots.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you, like, how direct have you been behind the scenes? Like,
Also, Lizzo has her own bread. She can do like we all do and put her own money into herself and, you know, do content or do whatever and promote her stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, the labels are like loans. They loan the money out, right? They give the money to the artist. That's a loan. They gotta pay that back. They have to pay that back. And what you do with the loan, as long as you get the album and whatever specifications, what you do with it. But they need to recoup just like the bank.
like, are you literally in rooms saying, why are you not spending money on this project? Or why can't I have this? It sounds like you are.
I also want to say,
This cookie dough parfait is my new favorite.
my label in particular, they are keeping up with the times. Atlantic Records, I think, is very like they're like their fingers on like the pulse, and they're just like trying to keep up.
They're trying a lot of different things. We'll get back to that.
It's moving so quickly that it's almost like it's virtually impossible to keep up. The music industry used to change. Like, I remember they told me.
So here's the thing. I just recently saw Brat, which was Charlie XCX documentary, and it just said that she signed to Atlantic. All the things, damn, hate to do it, but I gotta keep it honest. I just watched Charlie XCX, Brat, and all of the things that they did for her and what was going on with what she had, I get it was a mockumentary, but they got money. They're doing things for artists, bro. They are doing things for artists. It's just, you know, they're doing some. And Cardi B signed to Atlantic too. I leave it at that. We've been seeing Cardi everywhere. So how are they limited? They might be limited for some, but they seem not to be limited for others.
Like every 3 to 6 months. Now it's like every week.
Actually, it is like every week, now that I think about it. I don't know how, as an artist, you could even keep on top of all the different, and because technically it's like there's so many things you can try and do, right? But at a certain point, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's like, well, how do I know what is actually going to stick? You don't.
You don't. That's for everybody, though. That's for everybody, even content creators. Even me. I don't know what's going to stick. Sometimes certain content works and sometimes it don't. You don't know. The people have the power.
You just have to keep throwing stuff.
I mean, in
Yes.
2023, TikTok used to mean something for streaming, and now in 2026, 3 years later, it means nothing.
We have YouTube.
Oh, I can't, chat, this is YouTube, right? We're YouTubers. I'm a YouTube partner, but no, me saying we're YouTubers meaning we mostly consume. If you're watching this either live or on the playback, you're a YouTuber, meaning you watch your content on YouTube. You prefer this platform, right? And I don't know everybody, but I know that's me. I don't really go on TikTok. So I couldn't even give a perspective on this.
YouTube videos, they don't count for streaming
YouTube doesn't count
anymore.
as of this year. Like, y'all.
Which is going to kill the art of the music video, can I say? That's a real disappointment.
Wait, what they say?
In this new iteration of the music growing stuff.
I mean, in 2023, TikTok used to mean something for streaming, and now in 2026, 3 years later, it means nothing.
We have YouTube videos; they don't count for streaming.
YouTube doesn't count as of this year. Like, y'all.
Which is going to kill the art of the music video, can I say? That's a real disappointment that I've seen in this new iteration of the music industry, is that visuals are really deprioritized.
Yes.
And visuals bring it to life. Pop is about like circumstance and performance and that can't.
I'm confused.
Extra. And not having that is a real disservice to especially artists like you, who has such a you have such a presence that is translated even better when you're able to show your aesthetics and show us your vibe and your look. Like, you have some iconic music videos. So that must have been frustrating for you with this album, like, rollout.
I think it's unfortunate. I think I still put out really good videos for the sake of art. You know, I think the Don't Make Me Love You video is an incredible,
Listen, I'm not going to say the artist, but I saw a major artist, and they had put out a new music video, and it only had 800 views, and it was like a day or something. So you never know what's gonna stick. You got to be in favor of the algorithm gods. We got to make sure Jazz TV's in favor.
Video of the year, hello.
Yes.
And I think the video is a work of art as well. And I even said that in my post. I said, you know, in an age where people are just doing stunts to get your attention, like there's not a lot of art being put out. And I'm like, don't just watch this because it's my music video. Watch it because this is Child, the director's art. And it's so good.
Well, I mean, if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, you know, you don't have to watch it. If we don't want to watch it, we don't have to watch it. It's okay. Same thing with my videos. Like, if you want to watch the videos, appreciate you. If you don't, that's okay too. Nobody's being forced.
That happened, and I think that's unfortunate. I also think that, like, radio not having the significance it used to have, like, a radio campaign used to kind of be coupled with a song. It was like, this is the song, this is the radio campaign.
Get the simultaneous push.
Simultaneously. And
yeah, but so here's the problem with that. Is it organic if it's constantly being fed to us with no other options? It's like if you're stuck on an island, right? And previous to you being stuck on that island, there was a song you didn't like. But now you're stuck on the island, and that song you didn't like is the only song that keeps playing over and over and over and over. Eventually, because you're stuck on a fucking island, you're gonna love that song because you don't want to be bored, right? But luckily, we're in a day and age where we have choice. You don't have to listen to things if you don't want to.
then streaming was the third leg. Now, radio out of the way. When a song comes out.
And I said I have a radio degree. You know, I think that I do respect the art of radio 1000%, especially to be live, to work the board, to have a radio voice, to be able to make people feel with your voice. I think that the art of radio, I respect that. But I think that the process and how certain people's music gets played and others don't get a chance, I don't like that. Right? And that's historically been like that with payola and all that stuff. So I don't like that. But we always respect the art of radio.
If it doesn't stream a
Gotta make that be known.
Amount, it won't go to radio. Like, radio campaigns are now built around streams.
It's backwards.
Yes.
It used to be that one informed the other, and now it's this way, that it has to...
Is it backwards, or is it just the new normal? You got to think that streaming is new. It never happened. But before, at one point, there was no radio, right? And then television. Everybody has to make room for the new guy.
Pop off on streaming first.
Yes, and this is
and evolve.
As of late. This is, everyone was trying to come at me when I was like, yeah, I was a radio darling, and they were like, well, streaming's been a thing since 2016, and I'm like, yeah, duh, but
not
it
tabulated in this way.
You don't that's what I'd be like, you on the internet. You're not signed to a major label. You're not.
I'm on the internet, but I also work in the industry, so that's different. That's why I feel I can give perspectives on this, because I'm actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually in this, like I said. There's only 1 degree of separation between myself and knowing how Lizzo is. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, for me, it's like, eh. So, that's why I could speak on this. And also just me working.
Artists, you don't get it.
And if you want, you can scroll down to a few shorts and you'll be able to see some behind the scenes. If y'all want to go fact check that one.
This is what I've been doing since 2016. I've watched it change. I know what I'm talking about, sweetie. Sit back and learn.
Yes.
Their radio campaigns and singles used to be hand in hand, and now if you don't stream a certain amount, there is no radio campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm a radio darling. Like, I'm a
I'm a radio
Like,
darling.
and my
You make
fans,
music that goes on the radio and plays around the world.
I'm a pop star.
When I'm in Singapore, I hear you in the cab on the way to the grocery store. Like, that's the
Hello.
place to be.
and
Yeah.
that's what people don't. It's not clicking to them because.
What do y'all think about that? What do you guys think about that last little section right here? At certain parts, I was like, okay, all right. And then this part made me go, it's like a damn roller coaster. Where at first it's like, and then it's like, okay, all right. Yeah, I could sympathize. Yeah, I agree. And then this right here. Hold on, then this right here. And it's like, hey, come on. You're back to the beginning. Yes, you're a pop star, right? What does that mean these days? We have more access to the people than we've ever had before. You know, before there was many degrees of separation that was very much controlled, force-fed. Now you have access directly, and it can make or break anybody. You got to respect it, just like the motorcycle. You got to respect the motorcycle, right?
They're so stream obsessed and like number obsessed, and I'm like, I get it, honey, but this is how the business works, and this is how the business has changed in the last 3 years, straight up. And
I feel like it's been going for a little bit longer than that, but maybe reaching big artists like this.
so that part also has shifted the landscape with pop, and I think now people are just like, I think something really crazy happened when do you remember on TikTok when musical artists started going on and being like, my label's telling me to make a TikTok, so now I have to make it. Like, that was like the trend for a while. Like, a bunch of artists were doing that because that was actually happening. And now it's like the artist is actually everything.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do it all.
You are the social media manager.
Yes.
You are the content production house.
But here's the thing. Everybody that's in the mud right now trying to get to Lizzo's place is doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. So this should be a little tidbit for y'all that are doing that right now. Continue to do that, and then just continue to do that. Don't even let them get a cut. Or if you sign that deal, make sure you read the contract and get a lawyer, right? And make sure that lawyer writes in things so you have ownership and like that. You feel me? Or just do it yourself. But I will say, there is a machine. There's a machine, right? At a certain point, if you want to run around in these circles with these people and at that level, there is a machine. And, you know, I'm not saying there's gatekeepers. I'm just saying there's definitely a machine out there. I mean, think about it right now. Where are all the celebrities? They're in Paris Fashion Week. Everybody's there. Does everybody want to be there? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like but it's part of the system. It's like, this is what's happening right now. Y'all got to be there, right? Everybody take photos. We're going to send it to this magazine. It's going to keep you popular, and all this other stuff. If you want to be in that, then you absolutely need a label.
Yes.
You do everything, and that is such an incredible weight to carry on top of making amazing music,
Yes.
which really should be your full-time job.
Right.
Having to do and wear all of those hats at once seems...
Everybody's doing that, bro. Everybody's doing that. Everybody that's trying to make it to the top right now is doing that. You have more money, so it should be easier, to be honest.
So...
Want to strengthen your math and computer science skills? Try Brilliant. It's an
The baby. right? Great example, right? The Baby is a great example. He just did his festival. Well, he just, No Knife, he just put out his restaurant, right? The Baby got quote unquote canceled by some people, right? In that situation. And he got kicked out of that system. And he was out here doing what he was doing, trying to give his explanation. And then at a certain point, he's like, you know what? I'm going to just do me. And he went ham with it. And now with the latest hit that he had, I think I saw him on like Apple Music, like the cover of it. You know, now he's back. He's back in that system. But for a minute, when they quote unquote kicked him out or whatever, shunned him for a while, bro was doing it and still doing it. He's making money. Yeah, good for him. He's doing it all on his own. He's doing it with a smile. He's having fun. It just takes work, but that's life, yo.
It's partly my fault because I was a part of a generation of artists who like did that naturally, like me and Lil Nas X and Billie Eilish.
You were such a successful independent artist for so long as well. This isn't an unfamiliar game to you. It's just the tools are different.
Yes, and it was fun, and it still is fun for me. And I remember when it turned from me just like, you know, f***ing around on social media to like.
Are they gonna talk about the lawsuit? Or is this just about the album? Ask for my advice. Soul crushing. Oh, do we want to watch this? No, I don't want to watch that. What time is it? 1 hour 26. Holy smokes. Nope, not that. Here it is. This on here. It really is soul crushing.
I always talk about how that Truth Hurts moment happened where I released it
That really
in
is.
2017 and like it didn't move or shake nothing, and I was like, I'm gonna quit music, and I was like, no, let me just be happy with being this kind of artist. Like I don't need nothing bigger than this. And then Truth Hurts blew up 3 years later. But I recently had another one where I like with this album, I kind of like took control a little bit and was like, yo, what's going on? Like, I used to announce that my album was coming and I would have the pre-saves and I would have pre-orders. And then my label, they updated me, and this was like 3 weeks before the album dropped. And I was like, okay, what we looking at? What's the pre-save? And they gave me the number, and I said, what's the goal? And they were like, da-da-da. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, let me go full force. And I went out and I was hanging up posters and I was talking to people and I was connecting, and I had Stan Twitter in a frenzy. They was making
Damn. Honestly, that is soul crushing. Because you did all of that and still, that is soul crushing. I'm not even being funny. That is soul crushing. You did all of that? Shit.
He's juiced me.
You were DIYing a major label album release.
And it was really, really fun. I had so much fun, y'all. Like, that was like, oh my God, this is like, I feel like 2019 Lizzo again. Like, I feel like I'm connecting with the people, a woman of the people. And then I had all of these high hopes, I think, for what we would do the first week. And it didn't match. I was so excited because I met my pre-save goal and I met all of that, and then it dropped and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't what I kind of thought it would be. I didn't think it would be crazy, but I also didn't think it would be this. And I think that there was like 24 hours of my life where I based my success and my worth on a number. And I think that was soul crushing. And I had to
That sucks.
remind myself. I was like, oh my God, like, thank God for Solana. SZA called me. She just called me. She was like, hey, you're on my mind. And I was like,
honestly,
like,
you know,
no.
that sucks.
Like, she's so sweet.
That is soul crushing.
I like meditated and I prayed
For her
on
status,
it, and I was
that
like,
is soul
this
crushing.
is why I don't judge myself if my success or my impact on numbers. This is why I don't do that, because it's soul crushing if you do. Because I could turn around and then, you know, you look at the thing and it's like, oh, 1 billion streams. Oh, diamond record. And I'm like, but I can't judge my success on that either because that goes away. So I had to reframe and be like, but aren't you proud of yourself? And I was like, yeah, I actually am proud of myself.
Okay, that's
Aren't you
good.
excited to like sing these songs? Aren't you glad they're out? Yeah. And aren't you excited to like write new stuff? Yeah.
All right. I'm going to call that a wrap. Wow. If y'all tune into this one was spicy, yo. Gave out a lot of gems. Gave y'all a lot of gems. We talked about a lot of stuff. This was interesting. I think that end of the day, it is soul crushing. That's the best word to put it. Maybe I'll name the title of that because it is soul crushing. For her to have done all of those things regardless of anything else, and for the numbers to be that, and all this, attention around it, it's like, damn, yo. That is soul crushing. But also, too, this is just one side, right? She has an ongoing lawsuit going on with like sexual harassment, I believe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. They're allegedly claiming that that's ongoing. So we can't just, hey, I don't know. I wasn't there. But this is just one side of it, and so I understand the numbers are soul crushing, but what's going on with that and other things that have been said, and I think got to give the full roundabout. All right. So as always, all praise to the Most High. Without the Most High, I am nothing and nobody. I will catch y'all on the next one. Definitely not tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow. I didn't even know. I didn't even see the chat. I didn't even know. Yo, I only saw on the freaking timeline.